All right. Let's check out Dish 1, The Disappearance of Filian. Trying to catch up on a lot of stuff within that. But yeah, Filian has been like gone for a while. Like it's like everywhere, and everyone's like trying to figure out information on it. There were some like really bad jokes on it, but like it's like everywhere of it.
So, VTubers.
Oh my god!
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
I just want you all to know this is only my second VTuber video of this year, and around the time this video is uploaded, we are like 134 days into the current year, and I think that deserves at least some praise. I most definitely could have done more. I have a lot of things to talk.
Oh my god. I'm surprised he's not done a video on the Faithful Sheriff. I see so much stuff about the Faithful Sheriff. It's wild. God, I have like a fear of like seeing a full documentary on him because like before that he was like Doctor Witnesser, and I don't know if he did anything before that, but like I did see something that did like a little bit of like a side note of it of like Faithful Sheriff made the claim on Twitter he can get his VTuber model today if people gave him more money, and I'm just like thinking, who the fuck drew and rigged the model then? Because that is impressive timing, because drawing it does take quite a bit of time, and also getting the rig through takes a lot of time. Like basically, I remember Sumi was like showing me like the process on just moving the head, and then like the amount of process that you have to do to like set up to do the eyes, and it is wild. And I'm just like, how do you think that's going to happen? Like realistically standard, you cannot get a model 100%. Like if I was to get a model today, like today I go out and commission a model, I would not realistically get it for quite some time. It's usually on average like a year or something, because like you got to go through the talking phases of that. Most of the time you can skip that if you know what you're doing, but you got to go through the discussion, and then you got to go through the artwork, you got to go through the rigging, then you got to go through the setup of setting up all your like standard settings for your character, because not all models react to the same of things. But like I have not seen anything of people making fun of what they memed on the Faithful Chud within that. So he could have easily done that, but with the Faithful Sheriff, there's a huge thing of like you being demonetized, because like there's a lot of things that he has said that I don't want to tempt fate with YouTube or Twitch. I don't want to tempt fate with the things that he said.
About when it comes to this form of media, because there are so many of them and almost anyone can become one, even the most
We are one.
efficient.
Here's my impression of a Minecraft villager getting backshots.
But as I've found out through the extensive research I've done on this channel, being a VTuber isn't as easy as it looks.
Nope.
For one, you have to deal with this stereotype that many people just assume you're an obese, sweaty man with a voice changer, and
My
you're
God.
using what is essentially a cute anime girl to hide that fact. You also have to deal with the VTuber community.
There's also the precedent of like, I see this every now and then. I don't know if my friends see this, of like people kind of compare VTubers to other VTubers, that they're just like, oh, this one is like hugely into like the gooner side. That's probably the best way I can say it. Why aren't you doing the gooner side? And it's like you don't have to do that. Like that's the beauty of it. Everyone has like their own personality for it, and not a lot of people copies that because of that whole thing. Like some people do try that, but it's not that for it. Like people honestly try to be like, oh, you should be a VTuber so you can just get the gooning side of it. It's like, no, you don't have to. Like there's it's a funny bit every now and then, but like 100% of the time it becomes exhausting. I think it was Cottontail that said that she was happy to like stop doing like the gooning for like so long and just being themselves. Just be yourself. That's what I do. I be myself on it.
Itself, which can slowly erode your mental over the years more than any competitive league game ever could, and it eventually just leaves you as a husk of your former self.
Every morning, Pippa wants you to look in the mirror. And to stand as tall as you can. Not on your tippy toes, but like stand straight, okay? And say, I'm a good person. I can do better today than I did yesterday.
Where's your fucking art degree, buddy? Where's your fucking art degree? Oh, you have one? Okay, Hitler.
And let's not forget you also get exposed to and have to...
I wonder, should I like ever like oh shit, hold up. Oh, there we go. Just getting rid of a bot. The bot's gone. We're safe. But like, I wonder if I should like ever go back to my earlier stream. Like, I know we're coming close to like 2 years, like a few months. Actually, I think no. Yeah, it is a few months. It's like 3 months. I'm coming up on like 2 years. I wonder like how much like different I am now compared to like then. Cause like I will admit like the entirety of the first year, I was definitely like very self-conscious about like a lot of stuff. Now I just don't give a fuck. I'll just call it out how it is within that. But like I'm curious about that. Like 2 year later death.
to deal with the Guna side of the VTuber community.
I would literally never stop trying to impregnate Pippa. Every day I would wake her up by in her, and every night I would come in her right before going to sleep, which I would do with my dick stuck inside her bunny pussy. I would take some Viagra before bed just to maintain my erection so that she'll be ready in the morning.
That message keeps going, by the way. There is at least 2 more paragraphs of it going into graphic detail about their fantasy to have a loving family and fill their favorite VTuber, to say the least.
My
but
God.
As I was saying, being a VTuber, or more accurately a VTuber with a large audience with a lot of eyes on them, isn't as easy as it looks, from managing a community that large to trying to make entertaining content for your audience to even dealing with drama, which are all things their fleshy counterparts also have to deal with. However, where they differ,
and that's honestly the drama that they know of. Like there's I guarantee you there's probably like more drama that people don't know about that's like more behind the scenes. Just because of like things happen, and that was like one of the things that like kind of happened a lot with the Google Docu, of like the Google Docu meme, that like a lot of people just like had enough and they just wanted to air shit out. Like I've had my fair share of it. It's not worth mentioning on it, but it's just it's stupid shit. It's 99.9% of it is like the pettiness that happens behind the scenes of it.
Slightly is when you're a VTuber and you're thinking of maybe hanging up your virtual foreskin, you can just do a so-called graduation, which is a term for when VTubers decide to retire their virtual avatar or persona, and in most cases either rebrand as another VTuber, or in some cases just leave it all behind entirely. And it's incredibly
There is a trend going on, I've noticed, that kind of like breaks out the fear of people that I've seen, that I see it a lot on like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram reels, of like people talking about like selling their current brand new model that's like a few months new, just because like the community doesn't really like it, but they loved it. And I'm just like, if you loved it, then you loved it. Like, yeah, I still plan on updating with the 2.0 stuff, but like it takes time.
easy to do this as a VTuber, as most never reveal personal information regarding themselves or what they look like. Meaning if they do step away from content creation, nobody is probably ever going to recognize them, and they can just up and leave, no strings attached. This is a VTuber fan's worst nightmare. Well, obviously alongside hearing their so-called "oh, she actually has a boyfriend," of which they probably do. Wake up. But this
I feel like I could rip the band-aid off right now for that, because like this was like this was like 2 years ago, I think, like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe shorter, maybe it was like a year ago, that like a lot of people are saying that like their manager is strangely a dude or something for most VTubers, or it's like the opposite, like gender of things. Most of the time, not all the time, uh, it's their significant other. Like that was brought out. A lot of people do like play it under the scene a bit, but like that is like basically true, and they do ask like don't say it publicly. Like the people will like try to grasp on as much as they can for like certain things, just because they found out like certain VTubers are not like single and alone that they were hoping for. A good chunk of them does have a significant other, but like there's not always, most of the time there's always a talk of just like there's a mutual agreement with stuff within it, and there was a trend of the VTubers like posting their significant other with them, most of it like hand holding or something, or just like talking about it.
This leads on to the topic of today's video, as a certain VTuber not only abruptly stopped making content, but recently wiped a lot of their past online activity, with no warning or announcement of why they did this. All that was left behind was a cryptic message and a rabbit hole that is still yet to be solved. The last time she streamed was over 6 months ago, and it's led people, especially her fans and people associated with her, to come up with a range of theories, like she was burnt out from making content and graduated, she's rebranding, she's dead, she got deported.
She's dead? That's a conclusion that somebody made, that she's dead? She died. What the fuck?
Got pregnant and quit so she could have the baby. This only ever happens in the VTubing community, by the way. Either way, it's got a lot of people online worried and wondering where exactly she went. This VTuber is Filian, and today we're going to be jumping into the rabbit hole head first to see what all the fuss is about, see what people have discovered from the little information they were given, and if they have come anywhere close to answering the question of where she is. But first, as usual, who is Filian?
So what do you think of men who get cooked?
I think that's really sad. They should, can I say that?
What?
I think they should beat their wives.
What the fuck?
Started streaming all the way back in early 2021. However, some have claimed she was active way earlier in 2020, but the clips of said streams and videos are no longer available. Now, Filian originally, although being labelled a VTuber, initially didn't even know what a VTuber was, and her whole streaming career only started because she wanted to play on a Minecraft server with her friends, but you had to be a streamer to play on the server, so she decided there and then to start streaming. Her earliest...
That's a lot more common than you may think. I remember with like New World, there was like a guild that me and Gar joined, and I didn't fully join them because like they had like a contract thing. I didn't really like the contract because there were certain things in it that like kind of changed up a lot of stuff that essentially wouldn't have been like a huge battle with things, but like I still did help them out from time to time. There was times that when I was streaming New World that they came in and they asked me to like help them out, and with like a dungeon or a raid, and I did help them out from time to time, but it wasn't like consistent within it. And the reason why, like one of the things that's very common with these is like they have you sign an agreement for these guilds. I don't know what Minecraft would have to do with streaming it, but it's essentially on the same lines as only Fangs. the WoW server that Soda Pop does, that they want your entire game activity streamed just so they can like see it. They don't have to go like with the trust me mentality because they have the VOD up. And before you ask, no, that was not the reason why I didn't fully join the guild. The guild had like egregious rules in it, but it was like whatever. They were pretty cool people within that. But it's kind of like just that of just like they want to see what actually happened in case like something went on. And most of the time they got somebody who reviews the footage with like said dungeons and everything to like see what happened.
Streams were mainly on games like Minecraft and VRChat. Yes, VRChat of all places. These earlier streams were mainly watched by friends that she had met through things like VRChat, with her first stream averaging 7 viewers, which for a first stream is actually pretty good.
Whenever,
Yes.
whenever
Getting 7 viewers on your very first stream, that's very impressive, honestly.
I drop them through the bottom of the world, they kill me half the time on their way down.
In that first stream, she would decide to add a picture of her VRChat model to the bottom right of the screen. I assume so her viewers had something to look at, but little did she know that one decision would actually lead to a very promising career that would change her life going forward. Which is a very similar story to the average Warframe experience, because as soon as you click that play button for the first time, you either come out as a degenerate grinder with thousands of hours, or you come out questioning your masculinity and your identity. There is no in between. It's very similar to the Warframe.
Was that the rabbit hole you guys wanted me to go into? Because I do have a massive amount of grind hours in Warframe. Like, I do enjoy Warframe. Warframe is amazing. I love that game. I need to play more of it, but like I have not gotten around to it. Like I know I want to finish out certain factions on there. I still say my favorite update was the 1999 update. I like that a lot, even though the most recent campaign was really good.
Thunder phenomenon. But anyway, Filian simply putting a PNG of her avatar in the corner of the screen was the catalyst for her success, primarily because it introduced her to the world of VTubing, which is a mistake I also made. Someone would come into her stream and think the PNG image was a VTubing model, and because it was static and not moving, they would tell her her VTubing model is broken. But Filian didn't know what a VTuber was.
Oh my god, I'm thinking back about this now. That there's for Tango Plays, he fought tooth and nail that he was not a VTuber because of the fact that like he did have like a whole popsicle thing. Like he's a half like he calls himself a Mexican popsicle, basically. And he memes on it so much about it, and eventually he did just say, yeah, you know, it's great, I'm getting a VTuber model, and it's a really good model, but like it's always something that's like really funny within that, because like honestly, some people say with like face cam streamers, like you don't want to always have your face up on there, but like the way I see it within that, you could have a VTuber model or a face cam or no camera at all. But like most of the time with like no camera at all, some people may think it's like rerun stuff because most of the time they don't talk in the videos except for like one word every like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, what the fuck this guy was talking about.
That's what I did. So I put like a little tiny PNG of the mint model, the low-fill model right here, and it was a static image. Someone came into my stream and they said, hey, did you know your camera broke? Your little VTube camera broke? And I said, what's a VTuber?
But upon researching it,
It's dangerous, that's what it is.
A VTuber, but not a conventional VTuber. Because one, she would simply just take a model from VRChat and pop it into a VTubing software so she could track her face and technically be considered a VTuber, which would be an apparent problem later down the line. But she would also later use her unconventional means of being a VTuber to her advantage, and it would become one of the main things she was known for.
3, 2, 1. Oh, frick. Here we go. Perfect. I got it. I can do it.
And she's like, oh my god.
I took 6 laxatives flip. You're watching the Filian channel, and I call this one the brown flip.
The brown flip.
LeBron! Ah! Stop!
Filian and subsequently her streams became known for their high energy and somewhat impressive acrobatic skills, which most times resulted in her damaging her VR equipment, and she constantly had to keep replacing said equipment. Over the next 6 months,
There was like a picture I remember from Filian that circled around Twitter for a bit of her showing off her walls, the amount of time that she put holes in the walls. That was honestly insane.
Filian would grow her audience to the point where she was now averaging over 100 viewers per stream, and by the end of the same year she would average 4 times that. However, at the start of the following year, due to a certain event, she would blow up even more.
I'm about to blow.
And that blow up
My
was
God.
once again something to do with VR chat. As Filian was now somewhat well known within the space, she would get invited to another streamer's event, that being Rafflegator, someone very well known within both the streaming and VR chat space. He was hosting an on-stream event where another streamer throughout multiple rounds would go on dates with multiple candidates, with said candidates usually being other streamers or people known within the VR chat space. And round by round, the streamer going on all of these dates would have to eliminate candidates one by one based on how that candidate performed during their date.
Didn't OTK did this like recently? Like I remember seeing that.
And I know what you're thinking, but no, these dates aren't taken seriously and they're usually just for entertainment purposes. Rafflegator had already hosted this event multiple times with multiple big streamers, and Filian was invited to participate as a date candidate in the next one, with the subject of this specific stream being the well-known streamer Mizkif. Obviously this was before.
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, I to add on to the meme, I wonder if there was plushies.
Recent events happened. The event was streamed in front of thousands of viewers, and this would give Filian a chance to show these thousands of viewers her high energy and usual on-stream antics, and she most definitely didn't disappoint.
She's fantastic. I mean,
I'm so glad you guys like it. Oh.
yeah, bless you.
Oh, that's my wall.
That actually sounded real.
Alright,
Ready?
and back and forth we go. Alright, all you. Just speak your words to me. Ooh. Oh my god, you're so good at this.
My god, the audio on this. Don't close your eyes.
Indeed. Oh my gosh. You're like a medium well done steak. Just perfect.
Is this like the POV of a paraplegic's dating life or something? However, no matter how much Filian tried, she was ultimately eliminated in later rounds.
Congratulations, Momo! You are the winner! Filian, get the fuck out of here!
Well, at least she didn't lose to the thing that looks like it was created in the Ark Survival Evolved character creator. But even though Filian didn't win, she was still able to show the people watching how entertaining she could be, even if she was only there for one stream and for a very limited time. Filian would go live 2 days later, doing her usual content. However, a lot more people were present for said stream, over 1,000 to be specific, primarily because Filian had left such a positive impression on the viewers of that streamed event, so a lot of them would go check out her stream, leading to a huge leap in viewership and support, which would ultimately stunlock Filian and she would get a bit emotional.
Wait, are there really 1,400 people watching right now?
1,400? God damn.
Wait, is that real or not? Yeah? Whenever. Oh, Taylor! Are you serious?
From this point on, Filian would keep growing. She would do more collabs with big streamers, and she would integrate more into the VTuber community, becoming well acquainted with those within the space, which led to the creation of popular clips like this.
So what do you think of men who get cooked?
Oh my god, this clip.
Sad. They should, can I say that?
What?
I think they should beat their wives.
That's true, and yeah, that's true. That's true.
What the
That's true.
fuck?
That's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean,
People absolutely loved Filian's character and her on-stream behaviour.
My God.
By the end of 2023, she was averaging well over 5,000 viewers per stream, and clips of her were being shared everywhere. However, even though things were looking good, she would run into a major problem. Now, Filian had never really had an official VTuber debut. A VTuber debut is probably the most important part of being a VTuber. It's mainly used to announce the start of their VTubing career.
I didn't have a debut for mine, honestly. I wish I did, but like my major fear with debuting was like the same thing that like a lot of VTubers do quit, and it comes back to like the thing that people had a problem with like a few months ago of like the pricing of VTubing, because it is not cheap, that people expect an immediate return within it, and there's a lot of people that do the debuting and they do see like some success on it, but it's not a guarantee thing, and they see nothing on it, especially with like Twitch with their updates, because of like I remember I was having a discussion with my mod the other day about like he was talking about like the viewers on Twitch, and then I showed the mod the actual numbers, and I know I've had the talk with other streamers like Gar about the numbers part of it. It's not accurate, and people look at one number and they think it's the accurate number, and it's really not. It's really not that informational on it. But I do agree with going through a debut. I plan on doing that for the 2.0 model, but like it is like a very hard thing, because like there are some people that just go they're debuting, who cares. I don't know anything about it, so I'm just going to pass off on it. There is some people that do that.
Or a significant change that are already existing content, like a new model or lore drop. And despite being assigned the title of VTuber, Filian had never debuted or really changed much about her model. It was still a random avatar taken from VR chat and put into a VTubing software, and that's the way it stayed since she started streaming. And some would argue by the time she was already well known within the VTubing space, it was already too late for her to debut with a new model, because most people recognized her not only down to her on-stream antics, but also that specific model she used. That's how a lot of people knew it was Filian, so it would be hard for her to just change the model without it affecting things like her brand. So she just didn't. She continued using.
That's kind of why like some people have like a hard time with stuff. Like some people are like very not consistent with who they are within that. Like then they just throw in like, oh, I'm a shapeshifter, and the shapeshifter thing is fine, but like it's just like a pass that like a lot of people do. Like one day they want to be like, let's say for example, they want to be a cat, and then they get tired of the cat model, and then they move on to like, let's say, a dolphin. They change it up, and they throw out the shapeshift and stuff on it because it's like an easy pass for it. That was a consideration with mine whenever I was like, I'm just going to be a human. I already have like a complex thing with space within that, because I love space, but it's like a whole thing within that whole thing of just like some people don't really stay with like one ordeal. Oh, Ashley, thank you so much for following. Thank you. How are you? Welcome to the crew. What was I talking? Oh yeah, the shapeshifting thing. I do know some people that do the shapeshifting thing. And then it doesn't stick around for forever. So like it's, and then they go back to like the original one. Like there's nothing wrong with like changing it up. Like take Leon for example. Like there's Leon that everyone loves, that's the human side of it, and then they put in Catboy Leon. Oh, I love space too. I'm in space right now. Hell yeah. Cause I'm high. You're on cloud 9 right now. Well, do it responsibly. because I do it too, and that's why sometimes I make like really dumb decisions in games. Sometimes I do questionable stuff. It's either the stupidity or because I'm on like the out there in the cosmos.
Using that same model for a number of years. She even made things such as plushies and merch based on that avatar. But there was a bit of a problem with her using said model, and the problem becomes increasingly apparent when you go back to 2021
On
and
Moon.
look at
Yeah,
how
go
she
straight to
obtained
the
her
moon. That's the
recognizable model
minimum.
and the things she did to make her start as a VTuber.
I didn't know what a VTuber was, but it gave me an idea. What if I took my VR chat model and I started face tracking with it? So what I did was I went and ripped the model from VR chat illegally. I uploaded it into some software that I downloaded off the internet, which is the same software I'm still using today. Because I saw this girl DM video. She recommended this software called Luppet. I said, okay, that'll work.
So Filian had ripped a model directly from VRChat without the creator's permission and based her whole brand off it, which...
How did that go? Like, my model's 2D right now, but like, I think I still have the original Death model. I think it's got to be in a file somewhere, but I still have the 3D model of this current model. But I created that one myself.
Which is very bad and short-sighted, especially when considering things like the terms and conditions of said model, and if she was actually allowed to use it commercially for things like streaming or use its likeness for merch. And that's not mentioning the problem if she didn't pay for the avatar and just stole it. With all of that said, if she did even unknowingly break the avatar creator's TOS in any way, it could be grounds for litigation and she could be sued because she used their property commercially without their permission. And it's kind of ironic in hindsight because the very tutorial she mentions following to become a VTuber advised her about this very thing.
15 hours of video.
Yeah, the 3D software that I use, I did had to like go through a video to figure out how to put the model into the tracking software for it. And even the 2D model, it even does pull up a pop-up. Like both of them pull up like the same pop-up, but it's like different wording. But it's essentially the same thing make sure like you fully own the model. You or you have like the creators like full okay within it, and proving that you have the creators full okay is like a little bit in the dicey area, because then there's like more people to talk to within that. But like most of the time, if you own the model, it's a lot more like going through it. Serious question, what's up? What is the serious question? I might have an answer. I don't know. We'll see on that. Sorry, I want to take a sip of my drink. If we were on the moon, how would we see Earth, by facing upward or downward? Well, here's the first thing we gotta do. We gotta locate the Earth, first of all, because like it is an orb, so we gotta find it. And then we gotta play the Cyberpunk song. What was the song called again? I want to see your house. And then it's pretty much the perspective of it. Because if you look at facing upward, you're going to see it going the other way. And you're going to have to be chasing it. So it might be better to face it downward. That's how you do it. Then you say, David, we made it. We made it to the moon.
That's what I did before I got started on anything. But the other thing is, make sure you have full permission to use your avatar.
Yes.
Don't take anything from licensed work. Don't have any licensed...
From this one decision she made early on in her streaming career, you can probably guess what happened next. In July of 2024, the creator of the VRChat model would eventually learn who Filian was and what she was doing, specifically using the model they created to things like merch without even notifying them. They would eventually make a public statement saying that Filian had no permission to do any of the things she was doing, and that going forward, they have requested things like the merch she was releasing to be suspended, expressing they didn't even want any royalties or benefits, they just wanted to protect the copyright of the character they made. In the
That's
following
very
years,
common,
a lot of people
honestly.
would pick up on the story, and Filian began to get a lot of shit thrown her way because of it, but Filian never really addressed the controversy, she just streamed through it, which was actually a good move because she wasn't fueling the controversy directly, and a lot of people moved on from it as time went on. But behind the scenes, she was already contacting and working things out with the creator, which would eventually conclude in 2025 when they made another statement, which was them basically saying everything was sorted out and Filian had satisfied their requests. But
They probably settled it through like Filian buying the full copyright of the model, probably. Lol, wait, you lost me. Play Cyberpunk song. So we're basically on the moon doing GPS hunt for Earth. Yes, we are. Because if you look on one side of the moon, you got the Earth. You look at the other side, you got the galaxy. You got the freedom. Like, hold up, let me locate my whole planet real quick. Making it sound like we lost our car keys. It's like, wait a minute, I misplaced the Earth. I thought Earth was here. When I last saw it, like, okay, retrace your footsteps. Where was Earth when you last saw it? Right there.
yes, people still criticized Filian for what she did. Some have said,
oh, that's great. I misplaced the Earth.
Did, but by the end of it, she made things right with the creator. Something ideally she should have done initially, but better late than never. Going past this, she wouldn't have any more significant controversies, and she would still continue to grow, averaging 6,000 viewers per stream. She continued with her usual antics, she collaborated with multiple big creators, she even hosted a Vtuber award show, and just overall her streaming career was going very well.
Yeah, but if I remember right, the Vtuber award show got like a lot of controversy, and like it, oh my god, there's like 2 controversies behind the VTuber award show. Of like, the first one didn't promote like any male content creators, and that pissed off a lot of people. And I didn't know about this until like we watched the second one, because we did watch the second VTuber award show. And to be honest, at moments during that show, it felt like it was overtaken by other people. Like there was like the time Cinder promoted a show on it, which I get promoting other stuff on there, but like there did felt like a while for like the first half of the show that it wasn't Filian's show. I know it's Filian and Shy Lily, but like it didn't feel like it with like half of it. And then I know the second controversy is it's now canceled because one of the sponsors pulled out, because the one of the show hosts is Russian, and they pulled out because of that. That was a weird thing. Yeah, your butt IDKY. What? Your butt IDKY? My butt. What's wrong with my butt? My butt. It should be voluptuous. That's why there's an emote of me doing a butt shake. No. I get what you mean with that. Leave it, my mistake. It's okay. Ain't time for me to show off the butt shake emote or any other emotes.
Well, which is something, since this career originated from her putting a static PNG in the corner of her screen. But Filian's career in very late 2025 would take an unexpected turn because she would suddenly just disappear.
Filian hasn't streamed since last year. Well, the reason why is because we're actually in a court case right now. When she got caught jacking off to my character, to my stream, I actually did, we did have to take that to court, and the kids are involved, and...
So on the 7th
Why?
of December 2025, Filian would stream as usual. It was quite a long stream spanning multiple days where she would only end when she finished Minecraft Hardcore, accompanied by other creators like Vedal,
I see that.
Vedal's AI, Neuro. But upon eventually
You threw yourself, then you threw me.
Things started getting quite odd. There was weird sounds in the background and her stream was starting to glitch, and then suddenly the stream cut to a pre-recorded video.
Oh frick. Oh.
I didn't think it would be this. It's happening. It's.
So this is still like part of the plan.
For a little while. You'll be able to see the world. My world.
The stream would then abruptly end, and Filian wouldn't go live the next day, but then days turned into weeks, and then months, and it's to the point now
throwing
where she
crewmates
hasn't
at me
streamed for the last 6 months, which left both her fanbase and the wider VTuber community to question where exactly she went. And people came up with a number of theories. Some thought it was another situation with her avatar's creator, maybe there was more compliance issues there, but the creator of the avatar hadn't made a statement like they did before, and there was no indication that there was any issues with her model. Another theory was that she was dealing with personal issues and things happening in her life.
Just normal mood swings. It's all good.
And having a child. Once again, there is no evidence for this, it's more of a joke than anything, but if we
I know everyone likes the throwables.
real quick and assume it is true, well, yeah, she would have to take a break. Can you imagine her trying to do her usual acrobatics whilst pregnant, and she suddenly loses her footing and then falls and...
What the fuck?
I only said that because I wanted an excuse to use that clip, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that theory is impossible because you're assuming anyone associated with the VTuber community is a sex haver, which is just wishful thinking to say the least. But yeah, there were a range of theories circulating from this was her simply just taking a break because she was burnt out from streaming, to in the worst case, this is her fully quitting streaming. I think even one person who was friends with Filian made a joke that she got deported, which made a few people angry. And
oh yeah, Twitter had like one day, at least one day of like a field day with this. Of like, it was Cha-Cha saying, Filian got deported back to the Philippines. Which like, I know it's a joke, but like, I think it was just the clinically online. I want to throw more right now. I have 20 only. Like 20 points. I mean, you'll get more over time. I don't know the multiplier for subbing. It's never the same number. The last time I saw it was like 1.8 times. Don't worry, you'll get there. Or you'll be like some people that just save it up and throw 100 aliens and me at my shelf. Don't worry, you'll get there. I'm glad you enjoy the throwables.
They promptly threw their shit at them, but fans would turn their attention to people associated with Filian looking to get answers. But many were also in the dark, and the people that were actually in the know or in contact with Filian wouldn't divulge much information.
I can't say anything.
That's like nothing really new. Like people did ask me, like for some of my friends that doesn't really like stream. Like right now I know Britt doesn't stream anymore. I won't say when, but there is a possibility of Britt coming back to streaming. And some people just need to take a break, which I understand the break part of it, because like there are times when like you do like 1,000 projects and you just cannot like remember to do other stuff on that, and sometimes you just need like a mental exhaustion break. I took one for like at least like 3 or 4 days in January, like beginning of this year. And I know like last week I didn't really stream at all, but that was because like I have talked about my health being like all messed up and everything, and sometimes my health just like goes out the window at times, and I gotta deal with that. And it just happens like unexpectedly, realistically. 100, really? Yep. You can throw 100 at one point in time. I think it's like 1,000 if I remember right. But like that's the thing. Like even most streamers, even I have this fear too of like people. Like one of the things with streaming that like almost nobody fully sees is like sometimes you get hate on it. I know I've talked about it before, of like people hate on me just for being a male VTuber because of me existing in the VTuber space, because like every now and then you get messages of like, oh my god, male VTuber, what? How dare you? And I've had other people say like, this is a female only space, and it's like, how? Explain how? Maybe in your world, but still. And like people are afraid of taking breaks for that. But like realistically, and I have talked about this within that, of like you don't always want to take a break because like you enjoy streaming, because like if I'm not streaming, I'm working on stuff for the stream. And that's the whole thing within that. Like I have actually like had conversations with people who are like, oh hey, we got to take care of this, and it's like, I can't, I'm working on stream stuff. And like, you're not even live right now. It's like there's stuff you got to do behind the scenes. Like that's the thing of that, because like one of the things that really does push away a lot of people from like content creation of that is like, let's take videos for example. You spend double the amount of time making videos than you do with actually streaming within that. So you got to separate time for that. Then you got to separate time for other stuff. Like if you guys remember, whenever I opened up the merch store, that took so long, but that was because I was doing it piece by piece to set up the merch store and getting the merch stuff ready. And there was like a lot of setbacks within that. There's things that happen behind the scenes that like not a lot of people understand. No, male VTuber, not a wrong thing. Yeah, I enjoy VTubing. I love it so much. I enjoy it. The only thing I will safely complain about it was I still want to use the 3D model from time to time. I do. I hate the program. Like, I think the last time I used the 3D model was when I played Dead by Daylight. Not the last time. I played Dead by Daylight since then. But the last time I used that 3D model, the programs sometimes break. And it was so, like, broken, I did not look at my model for, like, a solid, like, 20 minutes. Like, I think it was, like, one whole match. It was 20 minutes. I looked at it for some weird reason. I had a leg going through my head. I had my arm coming through my stomach. And that was the 3D model. I don't know what happened with that. To this day, I still don't know what happened within that. Like, I basically became a folded sandwich at that time. Keep it up. Aw, thank you all. I greatly appreciate that. And then there's also like the mental mind space of it, of like, yeah, people come in and they bully the streamer. That's nothing new, because it's funny to like see their reaction and all that stuff. But there's times that like you don't know when it's like too far. That's kind of the thing. It's like positive messages within that definitely does help out the mental ability of it through. And I have had people tell me how my streams have helped them out within things. And that does mean the world, that I at least try to help out as best I can.
There is nothing to comment. There is nothing to say. Of course, Filian's okay. She's fine. She's fine, guys. Guys, she's fine.
Her fans' concerns got even worse recently when, for some reason, Filian's accounts on multiple platforms were completely wiped, which included her YouTube channel with millions of views. Where
I think if I remember right, I do follow a news channel, but that's because like I do follow like professional gamers and they touch base with like certain content creators from time to time. I do remember like this being brought up for that everything is gone the except the TikTok, but I think that's because like TikTok has like such a weird monetization thing and a weird video save thing that goes on that's like really hard to keep track of. Like ever since TikTok got bought out, it has been a hellscape. I am going to be very honest. Like, yeah, I upload still on TikTok to this day. It's not as consistent because like I had to go through a fight with TikTok all the time. Because like I did upload a video yesterday on TikTok, from yesterday's stream. I'm still in a little bit of a battle with that video. And it's gotten down to the point that like a lot of people are just saying like we're done with TikTok. We're just going to find like another short form deal because TikTok doesn't really save anything. They still have like the old contract up and it's not consistent. So like I know the TikTok videos are still up.
Every video was just gone. Most of her presence on the internet was basically wiped with no word from Filian at all, and most didn't know where she was or if she would ever return. Well, just not yet anyway, because when Filian left, she didn't just up and stop streaming without leaving something behind. Some eagle-eyed fans of Filian on the day she left would notice something weird about her last moments on stream, because in the last moments of it, where it glitches for the final time, there is a set of characters, and these characters were associated with the end text
they
of the
analyzed it.
YouTube link. And if you popped that into your search bar, you get a YouTube channel with multiple videos. This was an ARG, a game her viewers had to play to find out the truth of what happened to her, and perhaps if they solved it, Filian would return. And I will say this about Filian's fans, they are either the next Einsteins or, more likely knowing her fanbase, extremely unemployed or probably neurodivergent in some way.
They achieved the next level.
They went to work on trying to solve this ARG. A giant Google document was created, this time not to expose anyone but to archive their findings, and it's honestly impressive what they managed to do. They found clues on the videos present on this newfound channel, they fully dissected each live stream with some that were multiple hours long, looking as deep as performing audio forensics on each live stream to find hidden messages. And most times it turned out they were looking way too far into things than they actually had to. They managed to find clues and
they probably found more messages than she put out.
Time, keep looking, and Filian is lost. Eventually a link to a Discord server was discovered, which then led to a Minecraft server, and on the server they began finding weird structures and messages, of which they then decoded and found a link to a website.
Oh, thank you for the head pads.
Index.org, which required specific prompts
thank you, Ashley.
to proceed, and once they got past that, they were greeted with a desktop with multiple icons, and they eventually found more messages alluding to what happened to Filian and lore surrounding her. But there was still more to be found. They hadn't completed the ARG just yet, and they still hadn't found the answer to what really happened to Filian. But all of that changed with the next thing they found quite recently.
Oh my god. There's an update.
They shut the website down. The new YouTube channel also went poof. In fact, the Discord channel dedicated to the ARG was also shut down, supposedly because people were being dicks to the mods. And that's where the ARG...
Oh god, I don't get the point of being a dick to the moderator. 99.9% of the time, the moderators are there because they love the community. And there are people that like micromanage Discords. Like I've had other people come into my Discord and yell at my mods, and my mods ask me what to do. I'm just like, it's your guys' call. Like we have the rules set up for a reason. They've broken it, handle it, or I'll handle it. And it's usually a side of both on that. And that has become like very apparent, not in my Discord, but like I remember with like Pirate Software, with like him letting go of every single one of his mods, like people are like berating all of his mods right now to try to figure out what happened. Of course, now we know what happened because like a lot of it's just like there, but like it's a whole thing.
is to this day. They are stuck and can't proceed because one of the essential components is no longer available. I would say maybe this is a part of the ARG, but it doesn't really look like it. I mean, it is entirely possible people were being so toxic and began harassing both mods and people associated with Filian to get answers to where she is, so they just shut it down to significantly reduce that. Well, that or maybe the ARG.
I think also because I remember seeing clips of like people talking about like they've answered all the questions they can about Filian, and it's like a constant thing of like most of the time. I'm assuming it was like a solid while that people were just like coming in to only talk about Filian and only get answers on that whenever like they already have the answers. They can't wait for like teasers and stuff.
She was left uncompleted for way too long, so they just got rid of it all, and Filian is going to return soon anyway. But there hasn't been a clear answer to what she's doing as of yet. If you want my opinion, this is most definitely a re-debut or rebrand. Do you really think she would go to these lengths just to quit or allude to her getting deported or something? No, she's probably going to debut with a new model any day now, and this whole thing with the ARG and wiping of accounts was probably implemented to build anticipation for the debut. Because as I said before, if she just debuted with a new completely different model out of nowhere, it would probably confuse a lot of people that are used to her model that she's been using for years, and it might possibly damage her brand in some way, which may be the reason why she hasn't changed the model for over 4 years. But by generating anticipation around it and basically having the whole VTubing community's eyes on her disappearance, so when she does eventually come back, a lot of people are going to be there waiting for her new model, meaning it's going to be an easier transition from the model she's known for and used for years and probably still doesn't have full control over the copyright for, to a completely new model that is vastly different and probably will change the face of her brand. And if this was her plan, she has...
I do think if this is like a full rebrand and keeping the Filian name, I think that's definitely a smart move, because like one of the things that like goes on with clippers nowadays is like, yeah, now there's like a whole thing where like it's on the line of illegal of like people re-uploading old clips now, and they think it's today because like the algorithm game is awful. I will admit that. But like the algorithm game, you're going to have to deal with stuff because like take YouTube for example, like when I upload a video, usually the whole monetization of the video is a whole month, but the main viewership of the video is usually a week. That's the main thing of it, because like that's the reason why people push out videos so much, and I see it with like other content creators that even they have complained to me about, because I've even asked them questions about it, that after like this is the process of a video. You upload a video, you have the fear for the first 48 hours of the video being uploaded, of it going through like the whole system of it being like struck down or something because the scanner for the copyright thing is awful. And then after that, you have a whole week with the algorithm, if you're lucky with the algorithm, to push it out, because the algorithm game is like constantly being updated. And then after that, the monetization only stays up for like a month. And after a month of the video, YouTube no longer pushes the video, except if you've currently gone through your current watch list of videos on YouTube for that. And that's why people are also so stressed out about it, especially with YouTube, like trying to like fix it, because their last update was like, oh, you can swear now in your videos early on, but you can't swear at all for like the first 7 seconds of a video. Like once the 7 seconds is up, then you can say like fuck, shit, damn, or anything that you want within it. So like that's why the algorithm game is like very tiring, and that's something that a lot of people see with like content creation space, that you're not only fighting just the analytics, you're fighting like much more than that. I gave up on this world. Wait, I gave up on this world a long time ago? What you mean by that? Also, hi Peggy, how are you? Peggy, I am going to start up Crimson Desert today. I have it now. I'm going to start it up after this. So we're going to be playing Crimson Desert. So why is this person famous? Right now we're covering the video of Filian's disappearance, and it's like such a huge controversy because of the fact that it was just up and gone, and it's showing a lot of sign that they're done with it, and this is like one of like the top 5. But yeah, so far we've watched the Stop Killing Games movement, and now this.
Definitely achieved her goal. Most of the VTubing community is already anticipating her eventual return. But I'm 99.99% sure this is what is happening here. And in the very
Let me into the
impossible
VC you hide
situation
in.
where I'm
I can
wrong,
hop
this
into
isn't a
VC after
re-debut
this.
with a new model that changes her brand. I don't know, I'll hang from a ceiling fan by my testicles. That's how confident I am. And you have to take into account she has alluded to this new model months before she stopped streaming, and people associated with her have recently talked about it.
It's not gonna be a normal debut. It's gonna be probably the first time in like, well, it's definitely the first time, but maybe the last time anyone has ever done something like this. So it'll be a little bit different, chat. Instead of just debuting, I've been preparing to show you guys my world.
Some people have theorized it's because she lost rights to her model and she's been struggling and needing to clear everything off.
That's true. She does have her model legally. I don't know the settlement. I don't think anybody knows the settlement. But that's the thing. Like she did openly admit her current model is illegal.
The internet to try and survive, but I can assure you that's not true. We know for sure things are fine with the original model's creator, and she has been working on a new model for a while. I don't know when that's coming out, but that's all good.
Yeah, it's definitely a debut, and any day now it's gonna drop. I just don't know why some people are getting so impatient to the point where they are losing their shit and attacking other people, and that probably played a hand in the AI.
That's very true within that, because like my head moderator Ghostblade, I opened up his eyes so much with what goes into like creating stuff of like when like okay, take the merch store. Like the merch store, realistically, like if I did not stream the entire time I was making the merch store, I could have had that up in like a month. But it did take like 4 months in between everything. Plus, that was with other projects, because at the same time of making the merch store, I was working on this model. I was working on the trading card. Is there anything else I can say publicly that's not out yet? I don't think I can speak more on other stuff, but there's like a lot of stuff that goes in. It's not like a whole thing of just like it's a snap of the fingers. Like take the model. My model took, God, how long did my model take to draw up and rig? It took like 8 months at least, because I remember that, because I can give like 8 months probably an estimate, because of the fact that rigging itself took 5. And there was a wait list at the time. Everything could be done with Microsoft Paint. I don't know about that one. It is a whole thing of snap of the fingers. Fuck. That's what I was talking about earlier with what Faithful Sheriff was saying, or the Faithful Cuck, of like him thinking paying more money will get it done faster, and that's not the case.
Ending so abruptly. It was supposed
I
to
don't
be a
lie.
fun side quest, not taken that
No, it did not take 8
seriously.
seconds.
But yep, that's just something I wanted to talk about today. Your favorite acrobatic white-haired gremlin will be back soon. I'm most definitely correct in my conclusion. If not, I'll be able to use my testicles like nunchucks in the future. I'm now going to get my daily anal fisting on Deadlock, and yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Oh my god. I played Black Flag Remake for 3 hours. My god, I can't watch that, but people are getting it early! I want to play Black Flag.